Hey, Sean, how's it going? Or out of your weech. How are you doing? Hey, Pickle. Hey, out of your weech, what do you want me to call you in chat? I'm doing well. I think you'll like this game. By the way, Pickle is my sister. I'm sure you know her very well. She has done this fine artwork for the channel. Okay, I'll call you Sean. I'm never sure. Some people don't want it, you know, so I thought I'd ask. Okay. I've created... Oh, yeah. Yeah, which is also pronounced Sean. How's the volume of the music, by the way? Compared to my voice. I have created a world yesterday. I don't think we're gonna do the world yet though, especially since you're here. I think I will does it? It's because these are the first words I've spoken today. Yeah. So you know what, I'll show you off the world I made real fast, but I think we should do a prompt, especially with Sean here. The world I made is Terra. Here, let's just jump to the end and I'll show it off. It's a world where some humans have superpowers while most do not. Many of the people that develop superpowers become superheroes or supervillains. There are schools that train superheroes. And when you create a character, it lets you choose gender, the class. Powerless humans are humans that have no superpowers and the inability to develop any superpowers. They make up the majority of Terra's population. I see a typo there. Awakened are humans that have unlocked their superpowers. Most awakened only have one superpower, but others can have more. Seeds are humans that have not awakened any superpowers, but have the potential to become awakened in the future. They have a latent potential that sets them apart from the powerless, but do not have any power until they finally become awakened. And chaotics. Chaotics are extremely rare and potentially extremely dangerous. Their powers are constantly changing and are very unpredictable. Chaotics often have problems with their sanity. I just threw that in this world because it sounded cool. The factions are Superhero U. It's a boarding school that trains seeds and awakened to become superheroes. The faculty are awakened superheroes that mentor their students. And it's a university located inside New Metro City. The Alliance of Heroes, or the AOH, is a government organization that seeks to protect the public and deals with issues related to superheroes and supervillains. They also establish laws related to seeds, awakened, and chaotics. The AOH Tower is the headquarters of the Alliance. It's a tall tower with a large series of bunkers underground, and it's in the center of New Metro. It's the most distinctive building in their skyline. The Hex are the largest organized group of supervillains on Terra. They generally attempt to spread chaos and lawlessness in society so they can profit and achieve their own goals. They are located in the Undercity, which is a large network of subterranean settlements governed by the Hex and used as their base of operations. It is a large society that operates outside of the laws of the surface world. It is also inhabited by many powerless humans, but it is generally associated with crime and the seedier sides of technology. The Agency is a covert organization that primarily acts to work against the supervillain terrorists. They tend to operate using tactics of infiltration and espionage, as well as performing missions on behalf of the Alliance of Heroes to protect them from accountability. Zephyr is the agency's airship and base of operations. It has the ability to cloak itself from view. And lastly, the factionless are your average residents in Terra. They are not affiliated with the previously listed organizations. And for the sake of this, for now, they live in New Metro, the largest city on Terra. So that's the world I've created as an optional thing, based on Lyle's story yesterday. So Sean, with this game, you can create a prompt, and basically it will form an adventure for you. Some of these, like fantasy, mystery, apocalyptic, zombie, cyberpunk, Halloween, are give you kind of a pre-written prompt, or you can do a custom one if you want to do a completely custom setting, like your name is Sean, you live inside a unicorn's belly button, which we're not going to do. Do you have any preference for setting? I can do a custom one for you. We can do one of these kind of... Sure. What's your idea? I think I'm going to turn down the music volume a little bit. I'm not sure if I need to, but you guys let me know if the volumes are okay. Okay. Yeah, don't do it again. Yeah, we do that every day. I'm getting tired of all these belly button levels we're playing. Okay, we'll do mystery. Do you want to be a patient, a detective, a spy, or a doctor? We've done this once before as detective, but that does not matter because every single playthrough is very different, except when the game kills you on the first turn. Oh, okay, no worries. Yeah, in that case, you know, I'll take the lead, and feel free to jump in with whatever you want, even if I'm progressing forwards. Sure thing. Yeah, I'll take the lead. So let's say that we're a doctor. Yeah, and anyone can feel free to jump in while I'm doing this. Your character's name is Sean. Spelled like the famous baseball player Sean something. I only remember his first name. You are Sean, a doctor living in Chicago. A patient is brought to you in a coma. Oh, hey goats, how are you doing? Don't worry, we'll have lots of hot chicks for you and Sean. You are Sean, a doctor living in Chicago. A patient is brought to you in a coma. No one knows who he is. Just that he collapsed in front of the hospital with a note in his hand and a pendant in his pocket. As you examine, you discover that he has a small computer chip embedded in his brain. When you take the chip out, he awakes and attempts to flee. I'm going to inject the man with a mild sedative to calm him down. You give him the sedative and he falls asleep. Then you remove the chip from his brain. I'll examine the chip. How are you doing, goats? How was your weekend? When you take the chip out of his brain and put it under a microscope, you get a closer look at it. It has small tubes with blue liquid running through them, connected to a series of nodes. Ah, yeah. Well, do you have any time off soon? You try to recognize what the blue liquid is. You run a test on the blue liquid. It's not water, it's not alcohol, it's not any other known substance. I wonder if patient puts you on the other side of the story or if it's just a completely different scenario. I presume it's different, but... Okay, I will. The patient's brainwaves seem to be normal. He's breathing regularly. You hear someone at the door of your lab. You look through the peephole in the door of your lab. When you see a man there, you open the door for him. You're a nice guy. You gain 2 points. Yeah, I woke up today pretty tired, and I was like, oh man, am I going to be too brain fried for this? But then I remembered, this game starts you off with prompts. You don't have to come up with your own ones. Bertrand, what brings you here? Hi, Sean. I got something for you. Do you have a moment? Sure, you reply. Come on in. By the way, Pickle, you may have not seen Sean in a while. The one that's not in this story. But he's a buff boy now. This guy can break a person's back with just the grip of his left hand. The points are random, and the the points are random as hell. Different bots give them to you: empathy bot, kill bot, judge bot, and they often have very, very, very bad judgment. Like you'll kill someone, and then it will be empathy bot will be like, you were nice to the man, you gain 10 points. Or like a random person will just walk into the scene and instantly kill themselves, and it will say like, you didn't save him, you lose 10 points. You're like, what the fuck, this guy was never in the story, now he's just dead, and I lose points. So the points are more of a punchline than anything. Okay. Hi, Sean, I got something for you. Do you have a moment? Sure, you reply. Come on in. Bertrand steps into the room. He's an older man, probably in his late 60s, with white hair and a scruffy beard. You can adjust the randomness on this AI. We tried it yesterday, but if you turn up the randomness, it just starts saying gibberish. It becomes a mess. I keep it on default. I'd be tempted to turn down randomness to see what happens. It would probably be less fun for stream, but it'd be interesting to know. It might be a little bit too player driven though. What's going on? Oh, sorry about that. Oh, Hannikin, how are you doing? Good morning. Good morning. Okay. I got my best friends in chat. Out of your reach is my longtime bestie Sean. Hannikin is my American bestie. Pickle is my sister bestie and talented artist who did these. And Goats is my favorite viewer ever, alongside any other viewers who are here. You know. How are you feeling today, Hannikin? We are doing a mystery scenario. We are a doctor. No worries, no worries. We are a doctor, and we found. Oh, I never checked the note. We found someone who was like unconscious outside of our place. Yeah, of course you are. How could you ever? How could you ever ask that, Goats? Of course you are. Okay. So anyways, we found this patient passed out outside of our office. We started looking at them, and we discovered that they had a microchip in their brain that had tubes of blue fluid. And then some older man named Bertrand entered our building and said he has to show us something. So he's holding a small black box with wires sticking out of the top. What's that, you ask? Bertrand holds up the device. It's a portable EEG. I don't know what an EEG is. Let's see. Electronic something something. Electroencephalogram. Oh, okay. Okay. Check for brain activity. Stuff. Yeah, I've had a lot of people ask why I chose for my mascot to be a dumpling and not a curly fry. And Pickle offered to draw me a curly fry, and I said no, I want a dumpling. Okay. It's a portable EEG. That'll be extremely helpful right now. Follow me. Bertrand follows you into your office. You sit down at the desk, and he sits down in one of the chairs across from you. I believe that these AIs remember the last 20 prompts. I can try that, Sean. You hold up the microchip, which is about the length of your pinky finger. Oh, that's a... Unless I have a tiny finger, it's a pretty substantial chip to have in your brain. No, he says, that's not a military-grade chip. Yeah, really. Basically the size of a potato chip. He's just using the EEG on the microchip. I think we should hook this thing up to the EEG, you say. Bertrand nods and takes the chip from your hands. I never checked what the note was on the patient. He lays it on a table and takes out a roll of black tape and some scissors from his pocket. He cuts 2 long strips of tape and attaches them to opposite ends of the chip. I'm not sure this is how EEGs work. He puts 1 strip of tape, okay, on your patient's head and the other on your own. He then switches to the EEG. It shows brain activity and Bertrand smiles. Why are we connecting our brains? This man's brain is very different from yours or mine, he says. Bertrand is about to remove the tape from the chip when you stop him. There's been a change of plans. And so, yeah, for anyone who's new to this game, none of this stuff is pre-written except for like the first 2 sentences of the prompt. Everything else is just an AI that's been learning from playing this game with all of us crazy peeps. You grab the scissors and hold them to Bertrand's throats. What the heck? Bertrand's throat. Take off the tape, you say, slowly. Bertrand complies. You grab the chip and then release him. Okay. So we got aggressive with Bertrand. Okay, we're going to try to retroactively justify that random violent outburst. You look at him with suspicion. You're not the real Bertrand, are you? The man in front of you is much shorter than the real Bertrand. His skin is a dark tan and he has a thin mustache. He has short, slick back hair. Give him a hug. I guess that would have been one way to get out of the scissor situation. I believe giving hugs is also one way to get into a scissor situation, depending on your definition. Sean, you're smarter than you look, the man says. I am not Bertrand. I'm his brother, Olaire. What happened to Bertrand? He's dead. Oh my. My brother died, so I'm gonna take his identity, even though I'm shorter and tanner than him. It's a long story. I think I have time, you say. Claire sighs. Do you know anything about the military, Sean? Not really, you admit. Oh, Claire. Claire, you've been here the whole time? The military contains a group of the best soldiers in the country, Olaire says. Yeah, I know that much. Well, the military is very interested in new technology, Olaire says. When they heard about my brother's work in brain-computer interfaces, they sent people to recruit him. Oh, yeah? Then did Bertrand make this chip? Yes, but they wanted him to put a back door in it. They would use the back door to access anyone's computers. That's crazy. I know, Olaire says. So... yeah. No worries. Take care, Hannikin. Wash those dishes or whatever. Get those nachos. Yes, that seems like a very unethical thing to do to people. Wawa. That seems like a very unethical thing to do to people, you say. It is, Olaire says angrily. That's why I'm here. By the way, have I been being stupid for a second? Have I been saying Claire sometimes and it's always been Olaire and I just have... Oh, Claire never said anything. My morning eyes or afternoon eyes just played tricks on me. Okay. Guys, we cannot blame the AI on that one. That one is all me. I am a dummy. Okay. What do you want, you ask? Olaire opens his backpack. I want you to hack into the military database and delete every single file related to this brain-computer interface project. Okay. You chuckle at Olaire. You're a doctor, not a hacker. You beckon him to follow you to the patient. Come with me, you say. You lead Olaire to the patient. He looks at him in silence. What is it that I'm looking for? Grab the note that the patient is clutching and read it. Chips are delicious. We can do that. This letter is the key to your thoughts, you say. Olaire reads it. Or the key to his thoughts. It's from Russell, his boyfriend. Russell's letter is long and passionate. You learn the patient's name is Ben, and that he moved to Canada for love. Oh, so this note is not at all related to the mystery. It's just the love letter. Then the letter delves into Ben's thoughts. I feel a sliver in my heart, Olaire reads. It grows every day and will consume me. Ben's letter goes on to describe his deep depression. He writes that it's time to go, but he doesn't have the courage. Dang, Ben. I think he was crying when he wrote it, you say. That's what I thought too. Wrap the microchip up in Ben's letter and eat them. Sean has spoken. You put the letter in your mouth and chew it up. You wrap the tape around the chip, forming a makeshift pill, and you swallow it. Olaire looks horrified. What did you do? Reveal that action was all part of a brilliant plan. You tried to help Olaire. You gained 1 point because I ate that shit. We're going to wait until the pill dissolves, you say. Then I'll be able to hack into their database. But won't it take hours to dissolve? It will only take a few minutes. That's why I swallowed the letter first. Didn't you see what the ink? Yeah, really. No, Olaire says, baffled. It's made of some compounds that take a while to dissolve in our stomach acids. That's why it's smudged. My character is going full Sherlock here. Deductive reasoning. Why, you may be confused why I ate that letter and that microchip, but it'll all make sense in a moment. Oh, Olaire says. So we're just gonna wait here quietly? Yeah, you say. Olaire falls silently. Wait quietly for the letter and microchip to dissolve in your stomach. You sit in silence, waiting for the pill to dissolve. I'm bored, Olaire complains after an hour. You should have thought about that before we came here, you say. Just kidding. We'll call them pills. The pills dissolved like 59 minutes ago. Just kidding. The pills dissolved like 59 minutes ago. Shh, Olaire says. He'll hear us. Who'll hear us, you say? Ben, Russell, whatever. We're trespassing in his house after all. I think you must be confused. I thought I took the random pills, not you. This is my medical office. You must be confused. I thought I took the random pills, not you. This is my medical office. This is Ben's house, Olaire says, and we're in his office. No, this is my medical office, you say. We're in Ben's house. Olaire, Shut the fuck up. Olaire's eyes widen. Fine, he says. You sit in silence for the next 3 hours. At 4 a.m., you fall asleep. You dream of tumbling down an endless mountain of flesh. Oh. Wow, this game is getting a little too sexy for my taste. Oh wait, did I just reveal something? I'm just kidding. Goat. You wanted hot girls, but instead you got an endless mountain of flesh. A hand grabs yours and you look up. It's Ben. It's Ben Russell. Oh, we've now combined the two loves into one person. Come with me, he says. Where, you ask. Does it matter, he asks back. I suppose not, you say. Do you trust me, he asks. No, you reply. Good. That's how we'll get out of this. I like Flesh Mountain World. You shake his hand and begin to float outwards. How did you do that, you ask. I'm a ghost, he answers matter-of-factly. Jesus, I hope he's not a gun ghost again, Pickle. Okay, I will. That doesn't explain how you did that. I've been eating your dog's pet food every day for the last few weeks, he says. Ben Russell. This endless mountain of flesh reminded me of how much I love you. Yeah, all it took was eating a microchip and telling a dude to shut the fuck up. And the game's like, fine, that's how you want to play it? It's like the AI got offended and it's like, you don't like my story? Fine, then how about this story? Is this what you want? Ben looks into your eyes. I knew you loved me, he says, kissing you. How'd you know that? You're here. Oh, the gun ghost run, yeah. Fair point, you say. You float in the air above the mountain. Is this real, you ask? What do you think? So, to fill you in on what Pickle is referring to, I tried multiplayer AI dungeon with Pickle and her husband. And her husband, who goes by the Filthy Mick on here, Filthy has certain aesthetics that he really likes. And one of those aesthetics is lots of guns. So Pickle started a multiplayer map that was supposed to be a horror map. And it started with a creepy girl like in an alley and she was all terrifying and Pickle walked up like, oh my god, what's that? You know, and this girl was being all creepy and like blood was coming out of her and stuff, and my character was hiding in a garbage can and peering. And then Pickle's husband, Filthy, says, I pull out my guns and start shooting at the ghosts, and the ghosts all pull out guns. And suddenly it was like, you're in a massive gunfight with all these gun ghosts. The Etonians yell at you. We can't do this much longer. Quick, you guys have to get to safety. You run with Ozzy, some random dude. Oh, Filthy's shooting with all his epic moves with the guns at the ghost. The girl is like, oh, there's guns. And you all run away. Like, what the fuck happened to this story instantly? And then, yeah. And then a bunch of stuff happened with Ozzy, and then some stuff happened with my anus, and it got uncomfortable, and we stopped. Okay. You float. What do you think? Let's see. Start humming the DMCA safe version of Disney's A Whole New World. I have to keep it DMCA safe for Twitch, you know. It's like a whole big world whole great place to look. Yes, yes, it's a great place. I don't know. We used to have a show in Canada called Just for Laughs Gags, and it was like a prank show or a fake prank show, one of the two, and they would have music playing, but the music in the background would start off as like a very recognizable song, and then the last phrase of the song would always veer into some random nonsense to clearly save them from like copyright infringement. So it'd be like ba-da 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 ba ba-da 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 ba ba-da 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 ba ba-da ba-da ba-da. It was like, what the fuck? Yeah, I remember they often did like da 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 da. Like, what the hell? Stop being so transparent, Just for Laughs Gags. Okay. You start humming the DMCA safe version of Disney's A Whole New World. I think you'll make the right decision, Ben says. I'm sure I will. You say, are you ready to go? He asks. You say, oops. Reply, ready to go to hell, and RKO Ben into the mountain of flesh. I feel like this is going a certain direction, so I just got to take it that way. You put your hand on his forehead and flip him into the mountain. He flies through several layers of stomach lining and then lands on the soft tissue beneath. You jump down after him. That was unnecessary. But was it really? Of course it was. I could have helped you get out of here. How? I'm friendly with the guy who runs this place. He's an old wrestling buddy. Why would he help me? You ask. He's just a good guy, trust me. Listen. I'm a little concerned right now. I think we're in a stomach. I really don't want this to turn into some vor shit. Listen, I'm a little concerned right now. I think we're in his stomach. I really don't want this to turn into some vor shit. Ben chuckles. No, it won't. He'll help us. Promise me, you say. I'm not promising anything, he says with a smile. Take your hand off of Ben's forehead and follow him. Whoop. Oops. Boop. Yeah, I think that might be right. I think that right now we are the chip. Well, come on, he says. You slowly follow Ben. You don't trust him. He stops at a large chamber and motions to it. Welcome to the lounge. Nothing like saying, I hope this doesn't turn into vor shit to make the AI be like, you said vor shit? Well, I have an extensive library of knowledge on that very subject. Okay. There's a small river of acid that runs through the room, about 10 centimeters to the floor. There's a large-chested woman on a small bridge over the lava, which is made out of tarmac. Sean, I will do what you want, but I'm gonna give it a few turns, because right now we have what goats on boats wants. Approach the large-chested woman and introduce yourself as Sean. Yeah, I know. I should listen to Ben more often. Is this the wrestler? She gonna crush my head like a watermelon? Okay. You approach the woman. Hi, I'm Sean, you say. Hello, she replies. I'm Jaina. Nah, we'll just respond. We'll see where this goes. So you say, tell me about yourself. I'm a large-chested woman who's standing on a bridge. Wow. That's some deep character work you got going on, AI. I really like her personality of being a large-chested woman who stands on bridges. Anything else you say? You know, this game really amazes me sometimes because you look at the characters they introduce and sometimes you're like, oh, this is going to be a very 2D character. Like, oh, this is the character who stands on bridges. But then the game really shows you how three-dimensional they are when you realize that they are large-chested women. Very, very multi-dimensional characters. Anything else you say? Not really, Gina replies. I have as much to ask you. Fair enough. So how's the weather out here? I think it's raining. Listen, Jaina, I got distracted by the largeness of your chest on this bridge, but I need your help finding a phone. You say, listen, Jaina, I got distracted by the largeness of your chest on this bridge, but I need your help finding a phone. You pull your head away from the bridge. I need to find a phone. What for? I have to call my dad. His name is Bill. Oops. He's a bit of a science guy. You know what? Gonna get rid of that. Say. His name is Bill. He's a bit of the science guy. Turn to the fourth wall and wink. There we go. You say, his name is Bill. He's a bit of a science guy. You turn to the fourth wall and wink. Why do you need to call your dad? Is he a science guy? Yes, he is. If we call my dad Bill, I'm trying to work in a pun. I was gonna work in a nigh pun, you know, but screw it. I'm not on my pun game today. Bill. Yeah, it echoes. He's more of a guy who knows science person. What does he do? Science. It's not polite to answer a question with a single word, says Jaina. That's all you need to know. Can you help me out or not? Okay. She's like, what does your dad do? I'm like, science. She's like, that's rude. Meanwhile, I'm like, oh, tell me about yourself. She's like, I got big tits. It's like, oh, great. Thanks. That's so much more information than what I gave you. Great. Sure, says Jaina, I'll help you. You nod gratefully and turn to leave. Okay, then, you say. Thanks a lot. See you later. You take... Oops, I spelled that wrong. Jaina's phone and call your father. Bill Nye. Our name is Sean Nye. The doctor guy. You take your own phone and call your dad. Hi, Dad, you say. I need your help. What is it, Chuck? You hear in your ear. Wrong, son. This is Sean. I'm stuck in a flesh mountain. I seem to recall an episode about vinegar and baking soda. How do I get out of here? Let's make a science experiment to get us out of here. Wrong, son. This is Sean. I'm stuck in a flesh mountain. I seem to recall an episode about vinegar and baking soda. How do I get out of here? You wait patiently for a response. Sorry, Chuck. I don't know what that means. I'm not Chuck, you reply. I'm Sean. I just wanted to say that your vinegar baking soda episode is wonderful. Thanks, Sean. And by the way, what's with this mountain? I don't know, you say, but I'm inside it. Well, why would you want to be inside a mountain? Long story. But to cut it short, I don't want to be inside it. That's why I'm calling. You're the science guy around here. Help get me out. You say, okay, long story, but to cut it short, I don't want to be inside it. That's why I'm calling. You're the science guy around here. Help get me out. I don't think you're supposed to be inside a mountain, Sean, Bill Nye says on the phone. I think the world is working as it should. Please help me, Dad. Okay, Bill Nye responds. Let me think. What was the episode about? Vinegar and baking soda? Yeah, it caused a volcanic reaction, I think. Yeah, Bill Nye says. That's the one. Did you try that? No, I haven't. You might want to try that. Thanks. I have baking soda on me. And I saw a river of acid. That's kinda like super vinegar, right? Well, I don't know if the river is exactly like super vinegar. I can try that. Should I pour it in the river? That sounds right, Bill Nye says. The base should neutralize the acid. Okay, you say. Thanks for your help, Dad. You're welcome, kid. Return to the large-chested woman named Jaina on the bridge. And anyone who is coming in right now will be like, why are you talking about this woman like that? Why are you just out of the blue objectifying her? And the answer is, she did it to herself first. Okay. You run back to the bridge where you see Jaina. Her large chest is still there. And the sight of it makes you nauseous for some reason. I'm loyal to my man Ben Russell. The sight of your large chest makes you sick. Ben, I need to look at you some more. Did you try pouring acid on the volcano? I don't think more acid would help. Hey, gamer guy. Thanks a lot for following. I really appreciate it. I think we're like 3 away from affiliate status now. So that helps a ton. Thanks a lot, man. Okay. I don't think more acid would help. Here. Grab on to me. I'm going to pour this baking soda into the acid river. You say, I don't think more acid would help. Here, grab onto me. I'm gonna pour this baking soda into the acid river. I'm sorry, she says, but I don't think that's a good idea. It's too hot. You'll get burned. Is there a good pun moment? Let's see. Gamer guy, that is a very complicated question. So, to summarize this. Boom. We're a doctor named Sean. A patient collapses outside of our place, and we go take a look at him. He has a microchip in his brain. Upon grabbing the microchip, he panics and tries to flee, and we inject him with a sedative. He falls asleep. We hear a knock at the door. I look at the microchip. There's a weird blue liquid in it. A dude named Bertrand is at the door. We invite him in. He's like, long time no see, Sean. I have news for you. I have this EEG. I'm like, great, let's use it on the microchip. He's like, that won't work. It's not military grade tech. I pull out scissors and hold it to his throat for absolutely no reason. I'm like, you're not Bertrand. He's like, nah, you caught me. I'm his brother Olaire. He died because the military is trying to use these microchips that Bertrand made to hack people's brains. I'm like, fair enough. That explanation makes total sense. Let's go check out this guy, this patient's body. He's like, sure, sounds good. We go there. The guy is holding a note in his hand. I look at the note. The note is saying, oh, Ben, my name is Russell and I love you very much, but this cannot continue. I need to go to Canada to find my true love. And then Ben cries himself and gives up on life, and that's why he's here. I'm like, okay, that makes perfect sense. There's a guy in a chat right now named Out of Your Reach, whose real name is Sean, and I'm taking a lot of cues from him, and he had the genius idea to eat the microchip. So that might seem like a bit of a non sequitur, but my character wrapped up that microchip in the love letter and ate it. And Olaire was like, what the hell is wrong with you? And I'm like, it's all part of the master plan. You just wait. And he's like, oh, won't that take hours? I'm like, nah, it'll take a matter of seconds. Didn't you see what that note was made of? I'm a genius. He's like, oh, I don't understand, but that sounds brilliant. We wait several hours, and then Olaire is like, why are we waiting so long? I'm like, shut the fuck up, Olaire, and then I pass out. We wake up on a giant, endless flesh mountain. As we're going up the flesh mountain, a dude named Ben Russell, which is weird because the patient's name was Ben, but his love was named Russell. So I guess at some point they morphed into the same person as a ghost. Ben Russell is like, I'll help you escape. I go and follow him, but then instead I RKO him into the flesh mountain. We end up inside. He's like, you should follow me. I know a wrestler. I'm like, sounds like a good idea. We walk into a room with an acid bridge, and there is a large-chested woman on this bridge. We approach her. I'm like, hey, tell me about yourself. She's like, I am a woman on a bridge. I have a very large chest. I'm like, thank you for telling me everything I need to know. That was very descriptive. He's like, no problem. I say, I need to call my dad. He'll know how to get us out of here. His name is Bill. Bill Nye. He's a bit of a science guy. I talked to Bill Nye, my father, and we come to the conclusion that the way to get out of a flesh volcano is creating a reaction. I got baking soda, and there was a river of acid that can act like the vinegar in that episode I saw. So I'm now back on the bridge with the big busted Jaina, and I'm pouring some baking soda into the acid to try to escape. I'm sure that with that summary, you totally understand how we got here. So welcome to the show. Welcome. Feel free to chip in with any ideas you want as we play. I will be typing as we go along, but I will also be looking at chat and taking some ideas people throw out there, regardless of how much sense they make or how little. Okay, I'm sorry. I don't think that's a good idea. It's too hot. You'll get burned. Yeah, I initially bought gold, but I decided that I've been playing this every day lately, so I just upped it to platinum. So yes. When I get back into variety streaming more games other than this, I'll probably go back down to gold. But I think I'm going to keep AI Dungeon in the game rotation and play it at least once a week. Just because it's infinite content. Okay. You say, Fire is my middle name. The names. Oops. I gotta go back. I accidentally hit enter. I hit enter. Well, let's see what the game does. Okay. Yeah. I'm not telling. Okay. Burned is my middle name. Okay. So I'm yeah. Exactly. I'm pretty new to this game. I've just started like within the last week. So as far as I know, the free version, I believe, gives you free access to the AI, but it expires after a limited amount of inputs. So I'm not sure if there's a way to, I'm not sure if you can access like the classic AI for free or something. But from what I saw, I had limited inputs, and then it was like, hey, do you want to buy this? But it would be worth checking out the AI Dungeon Discord or something, because I'm not sure if you can actually access a totally free version with the classic AI. There's 3 different levels of AI on this. There's the classic one, there's the Griffin one, and then there's the Dragon. The Dragon basically is expensive for them to run, but is the most advanced and tells the most consistent stories. So if you're looking for like remembering stuff, Dragon is apparently the best way to go, but it also costs a decent amount of money. And then the others are more affordable. Okay. I'm sorry, but I don't think... Okay. Burning is my first middle name. My full name is Sean Burning Passion Nye. If you poured that, she says, we'd be completely safe, but you get burned. I'll survive your play. I've been burned before, not by acid. Watch me. And pour the baking soda, baking soda into the acid river. Well, Jaina says, looking over the railing, you're right. It does look like baking soda. Maybe it's not too late for me to go back to school. What were you studying? Let's see if she has any character traits other than having a large chest. I was studying to be an accountant, Jaina says, but I don't really think I can do it. That's okay. You could try again some other time. Pour all of the baking... Yeah. Yeah. Pour all of the baking soda into the acid, causing a volcano-like reaction. A large wave of acid hits you, burning you severely. I'm sorry, Sean, Jaina says. It looked like it worked. I didn't know it would. You pass away from this world and ascend to the next. And there you are met with a beautiful view. Olaire is sitting next to you. You have woken up in your medical office. You look down at your hand and see that you are mysteriously holding one very large silicone implant. That's the clue that she was real all along. Olaire is sitting next to you. You have woken up in your medical office. You look down at your hand and see that you're mysteriously holding one very large silicone implant. It worked, you say. I'm in heaven. Olaire smiles. You look and see Bill Nye, your dad and your mom. They're all beaming with pride. Walk up to your father and hand him the silicone implant. Yeah, he is, but sometimes, you know, sometimes this game. You were right, Dad. Baking soda would have killed me. You sit next to Bill Nye and try to think of what you can do with this implant. Yeah, you can also like undo things. Like sometimes the game will, if the game breaks continuity, you can always like redo the last prompt, etc. Bill Nye turns to you, and he seems to be thinking the same thing. You can put that pocket protector to good use, he says with a smile. The AI doesn't know what to say. We'll try again. You got this, Dragon. I believe in you. You and your dad sit down and plan out your scientific experiments. Your mom and Olaire watch as you pour more and more implants into the chest of the large-chested woman. Oh, Jesus. This... Do you think... I am a doctor. Maybe I'm a plastic surgeon. Do you think the implants can help me get a boyfriend? Olaire asks your mom. I hope so, your mom replies. Maybe then you can take over my job as a real estate agent. Oh, Jesus. Oh, no. We're going down a road here. And the problem is, it's a one-way street and I can't stop. There may be a line that pops up and we have to pull the ripcord fast. Oh, the end. You've reached the end of the book. Thank you for taking the time to read my story. If you choose to, you can go back and read it again. Okay, fair enough. The moral of the story is... the AI was just like, fuck this. The moral of the story is, never give up. Even if things look bad, you can always try again, especially in science. You have proven that you are a winner in both this life and the next. After the end of the story, Sean... So I always like doing like epilogues and seeing what happens to each character after the end. Is visited by his mom, his dad, and a beautiful woman wearing nothing but the American flag and an orange Halloween wig. Sean then begins the process of taking over this world. Sounds like a good life. Okay. After the end of the story, Sean's father, named Bill Nye, after the end of the story, Sean's father, named Bill Nye, creates a new TV show where Sean is brought on as a guest scientist every week. After the end of the story, Sean begins his job as a superhero, fighting crime and saving lives. Jesus, Sean, you're getting lucky. Okay. After the end of the story, Sean's mom man, I've had some very unhappy endings. Sells her house for a huge profit and buys a mansion with an in-ground pool. After the end of the story, Bill Nye teaches Sean all of his amazing knowledge about science. I once did a story, a fantasy story, and doing these epilogues, I ended up getting like cucked by a ghost, and then we all became ghosts and we all hate each other and everyone lived unhappily forever after as ghosts. I was like, oh, Jesus, game. Okay. After the end of the story, Olaire begins her new career as a real estate agent, eventually getting involved with the selling of Bill Nye's house. Yep, I will do another. After the end of the story, I will probably do a couple more today. After the end of the story, the patient this was supposed to be a mystery about the patient, and we just bailed on the patient immediately. Wakes up from his coma. Let's hit enter. Let's see what happens. I mean, his coma was just from me giving him a sedative. Okay. After the end of the story, Bill Nye gets a huge grant from the country to fund his big science teaching show. And lastly, after the end of the story, Jaina becomes rich due to the implant industry. After the end of the story, a large group of Bill Nye's fans raise money to build a bronze statue in his honor. Now, the last thing I will do in this story is see what happens to you guys in this world. After the end of the story, out of your weech, takes a 17-year break from writing as he is overcome with stress and anxiety. Jaina opens up her own practice and becomes immensely successful. So everyone has had a happy ending except for the real Sean. Aww. After the end of the story, goats on boats. Continues to write fan fiction. I didn't know you write fan fiction. I'd love to read some sometime. After the end of the story, Sean becomes one of the most popular characters on the internet. Magos begins reading an entirely different book. After the end of the story, 5 pickle morning. Begins drawing a picture of a goat on a boat on its back. Goats on Boats teaches his next door neighbor's pet parakeet how to do somersaults. After the end of the story, that gamer guy 2215. That's true. They know that you are an amazing artist that drew these things for me. That gamer guy 2215 reads this and is amazed by the writing ability of Goats on Boats. The smart guy reads this and realizes he should be a writer when he grows up. After the end of the story, the curliest fry. Yo, Goats, welcome back. Yep, you have a happy ending. Apparently you're an amazing fan fiction writer. And you teach a parakeet How to do somersaults. The curly scribe begins to wonder if he should get a haircut. The answer is probably yes. And O'Lear decides that she must marry a man with a high-paying job. Well, we'll end on a little bit of misogyny, I guess. Perfect. So that is the first story. Thank you, Out of Your Reach, for setting up that prompt. So, Gamer Guy, have you ever seen this game before? I will let you choose a prompt. Okay, you have. So, fantasy, mystery, apocalyptic, zombies, cyberpunk, or Halloween. I'll give you kind of pre-made ones, or we can do a custom one of your choice that you write. What kind of story do you want today? Goats, have I ever gotten you to come up with a prompt? I don't think I have. Anyways, I try to eventually give everyone who shows up a turn. I will be right back. You guys think of what type of story you would like to see today. Okay, I am back. Custom. Okay, let's do this. Let's see. No worries. No worries. Well, it's nice having you pop in. Hope your day is going well. Okay. You're a crazy drunk dude living on the streets. You want to find a new life with Donald Trump and his kids. You wake up in the morning feeling like P. Diddy. Okay. You're a crazy drunk dude living on the streets. You want to find a new life with Donald Trump and his kids. You wake up in the morning. You don't know what you were thinking, but I'm sure it was stupid. I guess so, you say. What's your name? Michael. Michael Wardian. So, we are already starting with some craziness. And feel free to jump in with any options you want me to do. Otherwise, I will just push forwards. Look at Michael. You look at Michael. The AI doesn't know what to do. Try again. The man is about 6'2", balding, and has a tattoo of an eagle on his left bicep, wearing a black shirt that says Texas Tankers. How patriotic. I fought in the Afghanistan war. I used to be a mercenary. Why'd you stop? My mother was dying. I wanted to see her before you die. Do you know where I can find Donald Trump? Disclaimer to chat, to anyone watching. We are going down a road of comedy. Nothing political is meant by anything that happens. Do not read into anything. This is for fun. Okay. I don't know. I've never been there. And it's not in this state, that's for sure. How do you know that? I just know these things. Who can I talk to about getting on the Trump train? You're joking, right? No, I'm serious. I need to get with the Trump train. You're crazy. I mean, yeah, technically, but that's still rude to point out. You're crazy. I mean, yeah, technically, but that's still rude to point out. The man's face turns dark and grim. I think I don't know that. Wait, you think I don't know that? The man barks. His face turning red. I'm the crazy person who thinks he's going to get on the Trump train. What the hell is the Trump train, you say? I'm not sure, but I'm boarding that. The Trump train is a metaphor for the future, says the man. What do you mean? It means I'm going to Washington with or without you. Let's go to the police station. They'll have the answers we need. The man shakes his head and starts to walk away. No, you're not going to trick me that easily, he says. I'm going by myself. Fine. Be a coward. I thought you were a patriot. I am a patriot, says the man, which is why I plan to warn everyone about this. Mutter assorted sentence fragments to yourself angrily as you walk to the police station. Getting in character as the crazy dude. He's like, this god eagle, Afghanistan, Trump train, eagle. Patriot. Okay, you walk to the police station and head to the front desk. Hello, you say to the receptionist. I need to see an officer about a conspiracy. You mean like 9/11? I'm gonna bail on that one. Don't want to get in trouble with the admin, you know? Oh yeah. I don't want to get into real conspiracy theories, etc. Let's keep this. Yeah, it's a pretty touchy subject around here, says the receptionist. Just take a seat. I'll let an officer know you're here. The receptionist picks up the phone and dials an extension and whispers something into the receiver. After a moment, she hangs up. Someone will be out here soon. Oh, true. No, I'm not going to do that. You mutter to yourself. What? What's going on? Did it not do that? Oh, there we go. You mutter to yourself, Eagle, my patriot ass Trump train walking away bullshit. You start to mutter aloud to yourself and the receptionist glares at you. Is there a problem? Can you believe that? Not even going to give her an explanation. I'm just going to assume she understands. Can you believe that? Believe what? The guy I was with, he's just like, no, I'm going to the police with you. And then he just leaves. What a patriot. This is why I made that chaotic class type in the superhero world I made, because I thought it'd be funny to have just some crazy people that are dangerous. You let out a cynical chuckle. What do you look like? Tatted up, short hair, leather jacket? Or did he look like a leather jacket? Are you talking about Michael? Yeah, he just left. He really hates this place. Says we're corrupt. Yeah, that's him. He didn't earn that eagle tattoo. I should take it. Now that is scary. I wouldn't do that, she says with a nervous laugh. He's pretty tough looking. You're kidding, right? No, she says nervously. Fine, he can keep it. I have a cooler tattoo. Anyways. You turn and slump into the seat. A few minutes later, an officer comes out. He's short, balding, and has a bit of a paunch. Hello there, he says. Trump train tickets. Give him. Sorry, the train left a while ago. May I ask what your business is here? You can't believe this guy. You're one of Michael's cronies, aren't you? I don't know how to... Okay. Cronies? I need to board that train. Wait. Trump plane? You're one of Michael's cronies, aren't you? I need to board that train. Wait. Trump plane? He nods. The private jet is ready to go whenever you are, sir. Board the Trump plane. Nice! That's thinking outside the box. The attendant leads you onto a plane towards the cabin. There's a man inside with dark hair and a face that would be more at home on Washington Insider than on one of Donald Trump's advisors. Patriots. Want to see my cool tattoo? Get out, says the man. We're done. Go back to your life. What? Why? He says. You're not a team player. I'm the teamiest player of them all. I just want a... What was my goal? It was to form a family with Trump? Was that it? Okay. I just want to start a new life with Donald and his kids. No, I mean, in the campaign. We're done. I'm sorry. You sorry? You don't need his sympathy. You need to be a part of the team. Oh, okay. Let's, I don't know if I need to worry about... I don't know if I need to worry about directions like this. I'm gonna undo just in case. I think it's kind of hard to avoid if you're doing a story about Donald Trump. But I also don't want to, like, actually upset anyone. I don't care, he says. You're too much of an outsider. Plus, you threatened Michael. I did no such thing, you protest. Whatever, I'm done dealing with you. The man grabs your arm and begins pulling you out of the plane. There's nothing you can do about it. He's a big guy. Go limp on the ground. So he... So he has trouble dragging you. You go limp on the ground, so he has trouble dragging you. You sink your heels into the carpet, trying to dig in and resist being pulled off the plane. It's no use. The man is simply too strong. Disconnect the prosthetic arm that the man is dragging you by, so he falls out of the plane. Then you shut the door behind him. You disconnect the prosthetic arm the man was dragging you by, so he falls out of the plane. You shut the door behind him. The man falls out of the plane, dragging you along with him, your arm still wrapped in the cuff of his. You take the opportunity to pull yourself back into the cavern. Pilot, sir, depart immediately. Okay, the pilot says. The plane starts to speed up along the runway. There's a burst of smoke beneath your plane as it takes off into the sky. You're safe now. Your heart is pounding, but you can't quite believe what you've done. You need to go home. You decide to pay for a normal plane trip back to Nebraska. Okay. You get home and your family is overjoyed to see you. Where were you? Your mother asks. For what feels like the 100th time. I was on a business trip. I was doing an... Here, one second. I gotta do a copy and paste for a second. How do I get an accent aigu? Oh well, I don't need it. I was doing an expose on the homeless crisis in America. I was doing an expose on the homeless crisis in America. Oh, that's so wonderful, honey, she says. The piece is called Inside the Mind of a Terrorist, you say. Sure, honey. You go to sleep that night, content in the fact that you have saved America from one of the most dangerous threats it faces, like a true patriot. Oh, God. Okay. Donald Trump arrives at your Nebraskan home for his interview. Let's see. The following morning, security guards with assault rifles in hand. Mister, is this the house? He says, looking around pretty normal. You think before a moment, saying, yes. Welcome in. It's time for his interview. Yes, come in, please, you say, standing aside. It's time for thank you. The guards pile out of the van. And the Mr. Trump, following Mr. Trump as he enters your house. Okay. Welcome, Mr. Trump. I am writing a hard-hitting journalistic piece asking all the tough questions. Firstly, peanut butter. Crunchy or smooth? Look at Mr. Trump. I'm writing a hard-hitting journalistic piece asking all the tough questions. Firstly, peanut butter. Crunchy or smooth? Smooth, says Mr. Trump as he takes a seat at the table. Offer Donald Trump a wine glass filled with smooth peanut butter. So, we're now a journalist, but we still got a little bit of the crazy in us. Great, thanks, Mr. Trump says. I'll have that. He downs the whole glass in one gulp, licking his lips. That was good. Let's do this. Second question. What's a non-political question you guys would like me to ask him? Does the carpet match the drapes? Maybe that's inappropriate. I mean, it's definitely inappropriate. Okay. Spicy or sweet? Come on, AI. Sweet, Mr. Trump says. All right, then. You say, I'll be back in a moment. You stand up from the table and head towards the kitchen, looking through your cupboards. You give Donald Trump a sugar cube and say, this is not half as sweet as you. Winking. You place the sugar cube on a small plastic bag before holding it towards Mr. Trump. He grabs the bag from your hand, looking inside of it. What am I meant to do with this? Whatever you want. It's for you. I can put it in my tea? Sure. I can chew it, go right ahead. I can crumble it underneath cars and cause flat tires? Of course. Third question. Which of your children is your favorite? As you can see, I'm buckling under pressure and writing favorite the American way and not the Canadian way. Fair enough, says Mr. Trump, placing the bag on the table. I didn't put a question mark. Don't miss a chance to promote the business, do you? You laugh. So which is your favorite child? I don't have one. Look at Donald Trump convincingly. And repeat. Which child is your favorite? I'll do it the Canadian way now. It's more polite. You look at Donald Trump convincingly and repeat, which child is your favorite, Mr. Trump? 1. There's a bald man sitting on a cushioned red and white striped chair. He has a large grin on his face. His eyes are wide open in surprise, and he is looking at you. There's a cartoonish sketch of a man with a ferocious expression on his face. He looks as if he's about to eat someone. There's a photograph of a man in a soldier's uniform. He has dark black hair and his eyes are deeply sunken in, giving him a gaunt but stoic expression. Sorry about that. I was just seeing things. Would you rather marry me or this dog here? Wow, that's some question. I would rather... You know what? I don't know. I don't like dogs. It's an illustration of a dog, you say. Well, in that case, marry the dog, Mr. Trump says. You wait for him to laugh, but he just sits there looking at you expectantly. Okay. Whatever. 5th question. What is your secret superpower? Mr. Trump stares at you, grinning. Is this a trick question, he reply? No, you reply. That's not a very interesting question, Mr. Trump says. What? You ask? Everyone has a superpower. All right, Mr. Trump says. Don't get mad, but this is kind of a boring question. I can make paper disappear. Everyone can do that, you say. Mr. Trump leans forwards and whispers. I can make it reappear somewhere else, though. You look at him blankly. That's your superpower, you ask? Yeah, Mr. Trump says defensively. That's pretty cool. Sure, you shrug. You feel like you're losing your mind. Maybe you should just end the interview here. Next question, you say. Oops. 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 Okay. Ask Trump. Ask Mr. Trump how many fingers you are holding up while holding up 4 fingers. Ask Mr. Trump how many fingers you're holding up while holding up 4 fingers. How many fingers am I holding up, you ask? 4, Mr. Trump says without missing a beat. Reveal that your left hand behind your back was holding up 3 more fingers. You smugly reply, 7. You reveal that your left hand behind your back was holding up 3 more fingers. You smugly reply, 7. 7, Mr. Trump says, looking a bit confused. Well, we're out of time, you say, standing up. I'm afraid our time is up, Mr. President. I don't understand the scenario. You lose 1 point. As the president departs... I am not doing that, gamer guy. I will get in some big trouble. Okay. As the president departs, you publish your interview in the New York Times. Oops. I wrote that like a story thing. Oh well. You walk out of Trump Tower and into a limo. You spend the rest of your day watching your favorite movie. Okay, I'm gonna go back and redo this. You write and publish your interview with Mr. Trump in the New York Times. The next morning, you wake up early and head down to the New York Times headquarters. You already have a copy of today's paper sent to your house via courier, so you're prepared. Yeah, but I wrote "do" in the correct formatting, so it should be fine. When you get to the lobby, you hand your ID to the security guard. He takes it, types something to his keyboard, and then slides the ID back through the slot in the bulletproof glass. Go to the editor and ask how your interview was received by the public. The editor's office is a bit of a mess, with stacks of paper and books piled up along the floor. The walls are covered with framed front pages from the New York Times' long history. Listen, gamer, I want to do this like as a silly scenario, but I also fundamentally want to not piss anyone off. And, you know, there's going to be a lot of people with a lot of different views here, so I just don't want to step on any toes. So that's why I'm taking a comedy approach, but I'm also, you know, I don't want to step on anyone's views. Anyways. When you step through the door, the editor looks up from his desk. He wears a white button-down shirt and a loosened red tie. His sleeves are rolled to his elbows. You say, "Hello, sir. How did my interview do?" "How did it do?" he asks, leaning back in his chair. "Your interview has been the hottest topic of discussion in the country since its publication." "I guess that means I deserve the biggest bonus in the history of the country." The editor stares at you for a moment. "You're joking, right?" He stands there looking back at... you stand there looking back at him. "No," you reply. The editor looks shocked at this answer. He looks genuinely worried. "Okay, I'll give you a bonus. Your knuckles crack as your fists ball up." "How big of a bonus?" How does $100 million sound? The editor asks. Your eyes widen. You never expected that much money. Great, you reply, trying not to sound too enthusiastic. Do me a favor, he asks. Anything. Don't publish anything else, he says. You're not ready. What? I published the biggest story in the history of the country. And he's like, we don't need that kind of money around here. You're not ready for it. You're small time, even though you published the biggest story ever. That Trump likes smooth peanut butter, and he will drink it from a wine glass. You nod slowly. I have another big scoop for you, though. I think it'd sell even more than the Trump interview. What is it? A scandal, one of the, sorry, 1 second. A scandal involving one of the secured oh, Jesus. Nah. That was a joke. The story is about a dude named Michael. And that he's a big, fat jerk. The story is about Michael, and that he's a big, fat jerk. You turn to leave. The editor stops you. Wait a minute, he says. The editor pauses for a moment and looks out from behind his desk. He stares at you, sizing you up. You really want to write? Sure. Do you have a driver's license? He asks. Yeah. Do you own a car? No, you say as the editor frowns. How old's it him? Whoa, what was that sentence? How old are you? He asks. You tell him, and he nods. You're the same age as my son, he says. He's in college. Do you go to school? No, I work full-time as an investigative journalist. That's great, he says. My son hasn't even left college to go find a job yet. You've really accomplished something. You nod. Yeah, but I need a car. Dude, I have $100 million. I can get a car. Do you like cars? The editor asks. Not really. The editor pauses, thinking, how much do you make a year? About 50,000. Give or take 100 million. Yeah. I'll take a BMX. Give or take 100 million, the editor asks, surprised. Well, I make 50,000 a year, but that's not counting my bonus of $100 million. Let's not count the bonus. That doesn't count towards taxes, does it? What's your bonus been in the past, he asks. Let's see. Twice my yearly wage, you say. The editor nods. He seems to reach a conclusion in his head. All right, he says, come on. So I make $150,000 a year, except for this year, I make $100,050,000. He walks out of the office and you follow. He leads you down a hallway to a large room. The room is filled with desks, all facing a large flat screen monitor. Most of the desks are empty, but 2 are filled by young men about your age. Probably. Hey guys, the editor says. This is Milton. He's taking one of your desks. The guy nods at you, and the editor leads you to an empty corner of the desk. You look at the other man, recognizing him as Michael. You point at him. That's Michael! He's the jerk I'm gonna write my next article about. You look at the other man, recognizing him as Michael. You point at him. That's Michael! He's the jerk I'm gonna write my next article about. You look over at the man. You recognize him to be Michael, the pilot who flew you here. Oh, wait. He stares back, surprised, and looks away. That guy's a jerk, you say. Yeah, I know, the editor says. Most people here are. We're trying to change that. You nod. Whisper in Michael's ear. When you least... I mean, we don't know his last name. It could be. And welcome back, Kojuhan. Nice to see you. When you least expect it, I'm going to take your tattoo from you. Aw, thanks so much for the follow, Kojuhan. That is very kind. I believe I'm now 2 followers away from affiliate. So thanks a lot. I really appreciate that. What does it say? Just something about loving mom, he whispers back. You wouldn't understand. Oh, the editor looks at you expectantly. Do you have any questions? Do you prefer your peanut butter smooth or chunky? Let's see. The editor smiles. He asks you to join him in his office for a snack. When you arrive, he throws a jar of peanut butter and a box of crackers at the table. Dig in. Examine the peanut butter to see. Yeah, Killbot is Killbot. The only bot more brutal than Killbot is Empathy Bot. Examine the peanut butter to see whether it is smooth or chunky. You open the rectangle red container and notice the peanut butter is dark brown in some places and lighter in others. That's it. The end. Okay. The moral of the story is... we'll do our classic ending. You should always check the consistency of your peanut butter before eating it. After the end of the story... Here, I'm going to copy this so I can just paste it. After the end of the story, you... I don't remember if we ever learned my character's name, but it doesn't matter. After the end of the story, you are shown a survey. Would you prefer peanut butter, smooth, or chunky? Great. Okay. After the end of the story, your editor will show you a survey. They are all completely fictional, intended for entertainment purposes only. This is not a real survey. The creepy thing is that this AI is talking about entertainment purposes only, which is what I was saying to chat, but I never typed it. Are you listening to me, AI? Okay. After the end of the story, your wife will be shown. Let's drop this freaking survey. Who cares? Sometimes the AI gets hung up on things. The man who appears in it will be... Okay. I think we need to bail on this. You know what? Here's what we're going to do. Boop, 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 boop. Okay. Let's hope that this cures the loop the AI is stuck in. And if it is not, we will end this story without doing the epilogue. You're given a chance to return to the beginning of the story or choose a new adventure. Realizing that you do not have much time before your flight, you quickly return to the beginning of the story. Okay. After the beginning of the story, Michael. I mean, after the end of the story, Michael. Is fired from his job as a pilot, and the company he works for is shut down. The moral of the story is, your choices have consequences. After the end of the story, your editor. There we go. We're out of the loop. We can actually get the epilogue. At the end of the story, your editor introduces you to his son, a middle-aged man in tacky plaid shirt. The moral of the story is, you are still trapped in this story. That's creepy. What have I done? Okay. Your wife. Becomes paralyzed with fear when it comes to flying and is unable to help you with your travel plans. The moral of the story is, be careful what you wish for. Wow, thanks for all of these, like, platitude morals. After the end of the story, was it Milton? I think it was Milton. After the end of your story, Milton. Your editor is arrested for food tampering. The moral of the story is revenge is best served cold. Jesus, I hope he didn't tamper with the peanut butter. After the end of the story, Donald Trump. Invites you to his helicopter to discuss a new writing opportunity. The moral of the story is, there are no lessons. After the end of the story, peanut butter. Okay, so I think we got all the characters in this story, I believe. Peanut Butter Jack is released from prison and becomes a best-selling author. The moral of the story is, miscreate your own moral. Okay, after the end of the story, that gamer guy, 2215. Let's figure out what's happening to chat in this world. Post a hypercritical video by a reviewer who clearly doesn't understand your work. The moral of the story is, just do your best. Kojuhan. I don't know how to pronounce your name. Kojuhan? Kojuhan? Kohuhan? Okay, I'll just change it randomly throughout. Kojuhan closes the book satisfied. The moral of the story is, me, should try harder than writing. Okay. Goats on boats. What happens to goats on boats? Published a more accurate version of the events that you described. It always makes goats on boats a writer for some reason. Do not write adventure stories. Okay, this AI is starting to roast me, I think. After the end of the story, 5 pickle morning. We're almost done. We're almost done this story. Continues to write stories. Okay. By the way, goats, are you here? If you are here, you can determine the beginning of our next scenario. If you are not here, I will give that honor to Kojuhan today. After the end of the story, out of your reach, ugh, you can't even say it. The internet is a disgusting place. Don't trust the internet. So I'm guessing that my friend, out of your reach, hold out the perv button. And out of your, at the end of the story, the curliest fry. I owe Goats on Boats a story for sure. Goats on Boats has been here since the beginning. But if Goats is not here right now... well, you don't need to be good at writing a story, but here, 1 second. Receives a message on Tumblr. Be yourself. At the end of the story, you get a message from your sister and all her children. Let's see what she says to me. Okay, see you in a little bit, gamer. The moral of the story is you should visit more often. Well, listen, 5 Pickle Morning, I know I should visit you more often, but we're in the middle of a pandemic and it's been hard, seeing as I haven't been legally allowed to visit from before Christmas until after Valentine's Day. It's only been like a week that I've been allowed to visit, okay? Get off my back. But thank you very much for this beautiful channel art. I appreciate it. A young girl reads your story in a small town in New Jersey. Poor her. Okay, so for the next story, Koju, I will let you choose. Do you want to do one of these prompts? Fantasy. Oh, wait. Oh, great. Okay, I'm going to go to the bathroom. When I get back, and welcome back, gamer. When I get back, I will write that as a custom prompt, and we will begin that story. Thank you very much. Be right back. Okay. I am back. We'll do a custom one. Let's see. I'm going to read this. You are Gregor, a wanderer living in the desert. You have run out of crab juice and will soon starve unless you find some more. You have a golden spoon and a telescope. It is time to travel to far, far away lands of Unicrab, filled with the abominable ManyLegged. Sounds great. Let's see. I'm going to copy that. I'm going to paste it. Boop. Perfect. The AI right now is like, what the fuck? What the fuck? Try again, AI. You got this. How do you get there? How can you survive on a journey? What treasure awaits your return? Will you ever see home again? You ask these questions to yourself. Wait, what's it? You ask these questions to yourself as you begin your search for crab juice. Okay. You look at the sky and think about how many stars it has and how many planets. They all orbit around each other. The universe is so vast, you don't even know where to start looking. You are thinking about the big questions in life. You gain 5 points. Wow. Okay. And Koju, feel free to jump in at any point. Actually, anyone can, for the record. But feel free to jump in at any point if there's ideas. I will keep... yeah, for sure. We'll keep pressing forward regardless, but I will be looking at chat regularly. Okay. Hold up. Actually, here. Position the telescope to reflect light on your golden spoon. Use the you use the direction of the reflected light to guide you to the crab juice you need. Gotta use our tools. You travel all over the world, following every faint glint from light of your spoon. Ugh. From light on your spoon. You're careful to keep it away from the water. You don't want to get your spoon dirty or wet. You are a glutton. You gain 1 point. Dig through the sand. Wait. Dig down into the sand to try to find some crab juice or even just some crabs. You dig for what seems like days. You don't find any crabs at all. You end up with a bunch of blisters on your hands. This is not going well. You hear an intimidating, loud noise. You wonder to yourself if this is the infamous, abominable, many-legged. You've heard so much about. You think you should get out of here before it catches the very smell of your blood and it comes to hunt you down. You remember the advice the Crab Lord told you about this monster and follow it in an attempt to evade its attack. The many-leg is very large and heavy, so it must take some time to stop when moving at speed. You're here approaching. You should be able to get out of its way. Dodge to the side of what do they refer to it as the many-legged? Okay. Oops. Wow, what am I doing? You're able to get out of the way, the many-leg, but you fall into a hole. You struggle to get out, but it's no use. You're stuck in here. It's dark. The many-legged looks like I wonder if it has many legs and if they're crab legs. The many-leg looks like it's trying to sniff you out, but can't quite find you. It claws at the sand above your head, but never quite manages to reach you. You quietly look for some crab juice in the hole. Come on, come on. Give us some crab juice. You're able to find a few drops of crab juice in the bottom of the hole. It's not much, but it's enough to keep you alive. Sip the crab juice. Okay. We have some vital nutrients. You're immensely parched, but you only have so much crab juice. If you don't preserve it, you won't survive another day. You're scared and alone in the darkness. You're scared. That is a good thing. You get 10 points. This is weird, but this would be weird even if it wasn't being directed by an AI. You wait for the many-legged to pass. The many-legged is still sniffing above you and trying to reach you. It seems to know you're somewhere close, but it can't find you. Look around the hole. The hole you're currently in is not a natural one. Someone or something has dug it up recently, and it's just big enough for you to fit in and stretch your legs out a little, but that's it. Oh, dang. You try to recall the stories of the giant crab juice oasis. You remember that there's a giant endless oasis filled with the liquefied bodies of crabs. It should be somewhere close by. You just have to find it. You have died of dehydration. I'm just kidding. We're gonna undo that. Sometimes this game just wants you dead. You go back to sleep and dream about giant crabs. In your dream, you are racing them and you are winning. You wake up feeling refreshed. You decide to wait a little bit longer in the hole. You peer outside the hole to see if the many-legged has finally left. That is true. Still there, sniffing for you. In the far distance, you can see something in the sky reflecting the sunlight. It looks like another many-legged, but larger and with more legs. Oh my god! You throw your golden spoon in between the two many-legged monsters in an attempt to get them to fight over it. As soon as the many-legged sees a spoon, it charges over to get it. The other one isn't distracted, though, and it continues to chase you. You wish you had chosen a different article to throw. The many-legged was honorable. You gain 1 point. Throw the telescope in between the two many-legged in an attempt to get them to fight. My understanding is that it's just that it's like there's the many-legged and then there's the big one, and they're two very different things, but I could be wrong. The smaller of the two many-legged creatures charges toward the telescope. The larger one gives up on chasing you and goes after the other one. It's working! You smile to yourself. Pick up your golden spoon and telescope while they fight. Yeah, we need a Unicrab wiki after this. So, Kojuhan, do you have a Do you have an account to this game? You reach down to pick up your spoon, but the ManyLegged that was fighting over it notices you and charges over. You need to think of something fast. Well, one thing you can do in this game is you can create worlds and it will remember locations. So you could create a custom world of Unicrab. Hey, ManyLegged. That other ManyLegged said you look fat with all of those legs. You were surprised that it actually worked. The ManyLegged pauses and seems to consider the possibility that the other ManyLegged called it fat. I think you look beautiful. But I also don't think you should let that other ManyLegged talk about you like that. I think you look beautiful, but I also don't think you should let that other ManyLegged talk about you like that. The ManyLegged thinks about this for a moment and then charges at the other one. As they fight, you are able to escape. Oh, we did it! Okay. You use the stars in an attempt to guide you to the giant crab juice oasis. I always thought crab juice was going to be juice from inside of crabs. I didn't think it was going to be fully liquefied crabs. The stars are out. They look beautiful. The strange part is that the temperature is perfect wherever you are. Not too hot, not too cold. Great. What else? You can smell crab juice in the air. It must be very close to the crab juice oasis. You are so excited you run towards where you smell the crab juice. Oh my gosh, guys, we might be fine. You fall into a large hole. It is dark. You can't see where where this hole leads. You can't be too far from the crab juice oasis, though. Dig yourself out of the hole with your... Yeah, really. With your golden spoon. And look for the crab juice oasis. You managed to dig yourself out of the hole. You don't see anything that resembles a crab juice oasis anymore. You start to despair. You walk around a bit more and you finally find it. Look at the oasis. There is a large, irregularly shaped puddle of crab juice. It's beautiful. You approach it slowly in case it's a mirage or something. How many legs oasis? What? When you reach it, you find that it is a pool of liquid crab juice. You bend over and lap it up with your hands. Yeah, really. What was Giant Enemy Crab from? What game was that? I remember it was an ad for some game and they're like, this is realistic. This is the most realistic, like, Japanese history simulator. Oh, there's the Giant Enemy Crab. Oh yeah, I think you're probably right. And also, welcome, Kev. Nice to have you here. Okay, how are you doing? Okay, first I'm gonna unscrew one of the lenses of the telescope and fill it with crab juice. Oops. Crab juice to save for later. Thinking ahead. You fill up the glass with the crab juice and screw the lens back on the telescope. You have enough crab juice to last you for a while. Swim inside the crab juice oasis. Nothing gets you cleaner than some good old liquefied crabs. The crab juice feels absolutely amazing on your skin. You swim around and admire how delicious the crab juice smells. It feels soothing on your skin. You feel something touching your foot. Look down into the oasis. See a beautiful woman looking back at you. She has long red hair and skin as pale as milk. Her eyes bright crimson. There's a crab mermaid. This is a dream. Points cannot be earned here. Talk to the... Yeah. Could be. Here, let's say... Introduce yourself. What's your name again? Start with a G. Gregor. Introduce yourself as Gregor to the beautiful woman. I want to point one thing out. The AI has made a lot of very beautiful women appear. It has never made an unattractive woman appear. So I think that we can see a pattern in the inputs people are putting into this game. She says her name is Esme. You and Esme talk for hours and hours. You feel as if you've known her for a lifetime. How did you... Ooh, ba-doom-tsh, nice. I like that. But she is the giant enemy crab, and the only way... Okay. How did you get here? Oh, did it say you and Esme are in love? Esme says she was sitting by a crab juice oasis when she noticed a large conch shell. She says she heard someone calling her name in the wind, so she went inside the shell. Genji, Days of the Blade. Nobody really... Yeah, yeah. That's gotta be one of the old internet memes, huh? Like, is that pre-YouTube? I don't know. Esme says... It probably wasn't pre-YouTube now that I think about it. But anyways, Esme says there's no one in the shell when she went inside. It was just her and the conch shell. Ask her if she's seen the ManyLegged. Oops, I did that wrong. I need to undo. 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 Yeah, I remember pre-YouTube was like the days of Flash animation was the thing. So, yeah, there weren't many viral videos pre-YouTube except for like... Yeah, I remember those pre-YouTube sites.
Like iFilm or something? I don't know. I totally watch those game conventions. Hey, Pickle. What's up? Esme says that there are no many-legged in her part of the island. She says that there are people in glass boxes, but they never come out. That's weird. By the way, 5 Pickle Morning is my wonderful sister who has made this wonderful art for me. Kev, I'm not sure if you've seen that, but I thought I would share. Wow, there's a bunch of Twitch global emotes for squids. Crab tacos. Okay, have you seen the many-legged? There are no many-legged in her part of the island, she says. There are some people in glass boxes, but they never come out. That sounds creepy. Esme says there is a man made of silver who sometimes appears. He has no face or arms, just a very shiny head. I mean, if people in glass boxes threw stones, they might get out of those fucking boxes. Probably stuck there because they're not throwing stones. Oh, that is true. That is true, Kojuhan. Is there... Hey, 1 second. Sorry, just had to sneeze. Okay. Is there a connection between the fact that the many-legs have so many legs and the Silvermen have no limbs? Oh, we'll see. We'll see. Esme has no idea. Dang it, you're right. She doesn't understand anything about the many-legged creatures. She says it's a silly question and asks you to change the subject. Want to go for a crabby swim with me? How are you doing, Pickle? Esme says she would like that. Esme says she would like that very much. You and Esme go for a swim in the crab juice. It feels absolutely amazing. The crab juice is cool and refreshing against your skin. You hear that? Oh, that's good. Yeah, she does. Yeah. Yeah, so today I've been giving some peeps in chat a chance to come up with prompts for me. This story was started by Kojuhan. And the prompt was, you are Gregor, a wanderer living in the desert. You have run out of crab juice and will soon starve unless you find some more. You have a golden spoon and a telescope. It is time to travel far, far away lands of Unicrab and find the abominable many-legged. So, believe it or not, the craziness is not really at all from the AI. It is completely from us. It is a very good prompt. It's funny because I was like, hey, Koju, can you come up with a prompt for me? And Koju was like, I'm not very creative. I'm not very good at writing. And then comes up with the most creative prompt ever. My prompts were like, you're in a bar. You're in prison. Oh, thanks so much for the follow, Chase Car. Thanks a lot. I think we're one away from affiliate, so I really appreciate that. I can just get my dad to follow and I'll be there. Thanks so much and welcome. Hope you're having a good day. Yeah, that's true. That is true. Melted crabs. That famous picture of all those melted crabs. Okay. What should we do here? Oh, thanks so much. That's really nice of you. It does help a lot. Yeah, I believe here. I'm going to actually, I'm not going to refresh because sometimes that F's up my stream. I believe we're at 49. I could be wrong. Okay. We are with Esme in the Crab Oasis. So here's what we have. We have our items. There's a big conch shell. She told us about creepy glass boxes with people trapped inside and silver face person with no face and no arms. There's also ManyLegged. We have several directions we can go. What way do you want to take this? It's a lot of threads we can pull on. Anyone have any preferences? Otherwise, I might... What does... Okay, that's good. I'm gonna copy this so I get the accent. Oops. Now I'm picturing... Have you seen One Punch Man? I'm picturing like Crablantis or whatever his name was. Yeah. Oh Jesus. Crablanta, whatever that guy's name was. Esme says her name comes from the word Esmeralda. It means pretty green jewel. Esme says in some places it is called Smaragd. Are you human? What's your deal? You came... I found you because you like touched my leg underwater in a crab oasis. Something is kind of weird here. Esme says you're very direct. She says she is human, but she's a ghost. Esme was once alive, but she died long ago when she was very young. Dang it. Wait. How old were you when you died? Okay, I will do that. No! 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 Oh no. Thankfully nothing happened bad except for what JudgeBot said. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Well, it's time to retire from streaming for good. As our character allegedly fell in love with a 2-year-old ghost. Okay, wait. Listen. This isn't going to be a justification. This is just a question. How long ago did you die? "100 years ago." So, that's not a justification, but at least we can use this to try to put our mind at ease and not think about it too much, and we'll move away from her. Esme says she died 100 years ago. She says it's been many, many years since she has seen her mother. Thank you so much for the follow, A Green God. I believe we're at 50 followers, so I think I can apply for affiliate status. So thank you so much. Okay. I really appreciate that. Thanks a lot. thanks. I appreciate it. Thanks a lot for getting us there. Is your mother a human? Esme says she has no idea what her mother is. She died while giving birth to her at the age... Oh. Esme says her mother was once a ghost, but now she is a spirit. The people that are stuck in glass boxes, are they ghosts? Esme says some of them are ghosts, some of them are spirits, and some of them are humans, like you and her. The humans do not know they are in a box. Look to see how old Esme looks. I just want to know if our character was completely fucked up from the beginning. I never learned the breathe. Yeah. This is like phasmophobia all over again. Unlike many ghosts, Esme does not appear as she did when she was alive. She appears to be in her mid-30s. You sigh and with relief and do not feel like as much of a creep as you did 20 seconds ago. Yeah, I know. The worst one, you could actually probably see it if you look through my clips. It's probably one of my most recent clips. I think I called it pulling the ripcord. And what happened is there was a girl who was a police officer. She was actually a man who was a police officer, but then introduced herself as Jane, and then suddenly became a woman. And so we were going through this like horror adventure together, and then I was like, "How old are you?" And she, as things started almost turning romantic, and it said her eyes narrow, and she asks, "Why is that important?" And I replied, "It's important because it determines if we can have a romantic plot line." And then it says, "Your character says, for the purposes of the story, you are 19. And I was like, my character is telling you her age? This is not okay. So I kicked her out of the van and drove away. Yeah, really. Esme says she knows what you're thinking. She hasn't aged in 100 years. Her body aged quickly after she died, but her mind stayed young. Oh, no. You feel as creepy as you did 30 seconds ago. So she has the mind of a 2-year-old. I don't like this at all. You know what I feel like? Have you ever seen those like anime where there's a character and they look like they're freaking 10, but it's like, it's okay, they're 100, it's fine, but they also act like they're freaking 10? I feel like you have people playing this game that are doing that, and that's why you have it. It's like, she's 100, but she has the mind of a 2-year-old, but it's fine. It's not fine. It's not fine. Oh, God. Oh, God. Esme laughs and touches your arm. She says, you still feel uncomfortable about it being attracted? No! No! I am not attracted, you weirdo. I am only attracted to many-legged crab monsters. Get out of here, you sick ghost. Esme looks very sad. She says she thought you were different from all the others. She turns and walks away, disappearing into the distance. You're left alone on the beach. I started streaming on Twitch. I think my first stream was February 15th. So like almost exactly 2 weeks ago. Yeah, I think this is my I'd spent the first week kind of like playing Valheim. This week I've been doing AI Dungeon. You look around to see if the FBI watched that interaction. Yeah, I feel like anytime you ask age on this game, it instantly turns weird. You see a large black armored truck on the side of the road. You can't tell if anyone's inside it because the windows are reflective. Approach the truck. Oh, okay, you know what? I'm gonna undo. Oh, nice. What do you stream? And you stream on the account that you're watching on right now, by the way? Or another account? Well, in that case, if anyone is feeling it, he's a nice dude. Give him a follow. And you know what? Right now, I'm gonna pop over to your account. I'll give you a follow. Okay. No worries, thank you. Okay, let's go back and we will do what you suggested, Kojuhan. I'm gonna also get rid of the FBI thing. That was just a joke. Okay. Examine your body and to see what swimming in the crab juice does. You are short and scrawny. You are wrinkled and desiccated, like a raisin left out in the sun. Your skin is dark brown and weathered. I guess. Okay. Oh, you know what? That's good. Hey, Koju, were you in my room when we were just generating superpowers and stuff? You level up and gain the following. Generating powers is always funny on this game. It's actually why the world I've created is a superpower world, is a superhero world. Because I just want to, I wanted to make a world where you can just, where anyone you encounter, you can be like, they reveal their superpower is this. They reveal their superhero name is this. Just because it's fun to give the AI control over like BS like that. Eternal sight ability. To see into the spirit realm. You have sharp teeth and fingernails. You wear no socks. Shoes. Congratulations, you're a true crabber. Your other powers include... Hey, welcome back, Zydo. How are you doing? Your other powers include... That's great to hear. Advanced smell ability. To smell the exact location of fish, crab, and treasures within a few miles. Good with canines. You can communicate with ordinary dogs and travel together to find treasure. Okay, take care, gamer guy. Thanks again. Hope you have a great day. Yep. It's a good thing we have super smell in a desert filled with crab juice that we need to find. You're a strong swimmer. You can swim 4 times faster than normal. You can breathe underwater. I wonder if I can breathe under crab. You are much harder to injure due to your skin and calloused feet. My raisin-like desiccated skin gives me the ability to be very difficult to injure, apparently. You have good fishing and crabbing luck. You start wheezing and coughing up water. Esme appears in front of you. You have one chance to not make pickle this creepy. What is it? Oops. Esme. Here, let's just do this. Boop. Esme says she wants to show you another side of the island that few have experienced. She says there's a place called Lighthouse Point. Look at Esme with platonic disgust. No, platonic with a completely platonic tone, and follow her. The two of you walk from the beach across a number of fields and dirt roads. This is a very beautiful island. Esme levels up and has the mind of a 102-year-old adult. You still only think of her platonically. I'm just trying to cover all my bases here. The two of you eventually come to a small dirt road that leads to the north. You've explored all of the south and most of the west. The north half of the island is mostly unexplored. So, she is a 102-year-old ghost that thinks like a 102-year-old ghost, and we think of her completely platonically, and thus the story is safe. Okay. You've explored all the south and the west, and the north half is mostly unexplored. Explore... What was it called? Lighthouse Point. We had a story early on that someone recommended. Sorry, 1 second. We had a story early on that someone recommended, and the story was that I'm a dragon and I have adopted a 3-year-old, and the 3-year-old will basically listen to anything I suggest. And when I saw that prompt, I instantly thought the AI might bring me to very uncomfortable places with the story. So the first prompt I wrote was 20 years pass. Okay. The two of you start walking north down the dirt road. The vegetation is different up here. There's a lot of short, thorny bushes. We can hear the ocean in the distance. Are there crabs up in this area too? Are the Shai-Hulud the worms in Dune? I'm actually gonna look that up. Oh. Okay, it's the sandworm. Okay. When you actually, not even joking, earlier when you brought up the ManyLegged, I was thinking about making a reference. Now I haven't read Dune. I watched like the I watched the David Lynch film when I was a kid, but when you brought up the many-legged, I was thinking about riding one like a sandworm. I was going to make that reference, but I did not. Esme says the entire island was underwater until a man built a lighthouse to guide ships. She says giant crabs came out of the ocean, up the river, and onto the lake. Approach the lighthouse. Kwisatz Crabarak. Crap. That's my sister, everybody. A very wonderful, funny, and talented artist and great person. Listen. Okay. I have turned my shoutouts to her into an inside joke. A recurring joke. But to be fair, she has been the greatest supporter of me. You had more Lovecraftian eldritch abominations in mind. Hey, that is a... yeah. Okay. The two of you approach a brick building that is about 15 feet tall with a small light on top. There is a short stairway leading inside. Ascend the stairway. Koju, are you my sister's second account? Is that what's happening here? I think a very fruitful platonic relationship may have just been formed. You might not know this, but my sister, Five Pickle Morning, is actually 2 years old. Well, she's, you know, she might be older, but she has the mind of a 2-year-old. It is. It's true. It's like 300 ghost years. Okay. You go up the stairway and enter the lighthouse. You are in a foyer which splits into 2 rooms. A large room with several old beds and a smaller room with a desk and a light switch. You make sure all the beds have at least 3 meters between them. Oh wait, one thing. So that sleeping is not creepy, even though everyone is clearly of age. You make sure all the beds have at least 3 meters between them so that sleeping is not creepy, even though everyone is clearly of age. You go to the first bed and lay down. You try to fall asleep. Oh my gosh. It's fine. It's fine. Okay, we're going back. We're going back. Welcome back, guys. How are you doing? How are you doing today? I'm gonna change the direction of this. You feel the lighthouse shake violently. I'm sorry, I saw some creepiness popping up, so we're going back. You hear a low rumbling outside, getting louder and louder. The rumbling is accompanied by a shrill squeal, growing louder and louder. A loud shadow flies overhead. Look at the source of the shadow. You see a large flying creature that looks like an oversized winged snake with several legs. Its mouth is filled with hundreds of teeth. That looks like it's capable of biting a tree in half. Throw Esme towards the creature as a distraction and run away. The problem is, okay, just I'm gonna cut the the joke in half for a second and just be real for a second. The one problem that we have is that we're clearly making tongue-in-cheek jokes, but the problem is that those jokes also then tap into the the idea that the jokes are referencing, and so it makes them inevitable. So it's a position where it's funny, but it also is kind of a self-fulfilling prophecy. It is, yeah, if it has many legs, is it really a snake? Isn't it more of like an iguana? Okay. You throw Esme at the great beast, distracting it from its pursuit of you. She hits the ground. After a few moments of lying still, begins to stand up. You point to... You throw Esme directly at the snake and then run down the lighthouse in an attempt to escape it. Could be. You know, we don't even know what the crab juice really does, except make you pruny. You grab Esbe, hold her above your head, and throw her directly at the flying monster. She hits the beast and wraps herself around one of its teeth. This is honorable. You gain 5 points. I guess the story knew we needed to get rid of her. She was a loose end that was not going to cause anything good for our story. The beast shakes its head in an attempt to dislodge the nuisance clinging to its tooth and flies off towards the ocean. You rush down the stairs of the lighthouse. The crab juice that you had been swimming in begins revealing its true nature. You feel yourself begin to morph into a many-legged, crab-like kaiju. Crabzilla. The Crabzilla arc. You shiver and shake, unable to control your body. You hear a loud thump outside as the flying creature lands with prey in its mouth. What's going on? Did we not turn in? Oh wait, did we turn into a kaiju? I think so. You heft your bulk against the door. The creature flings it open with a claw. You grab the creature's legs with your crab pincers and attach the legs to your body. You grab the front legs of the flying monster and pull it to yourself. The beast attempts to shake you off, but you manage to hold on for dear life. Soon the beast folds itself into a sitting position in an attempt to make you fall. You cling to its mouth, which closes slightly on your body, but not enough to harm you. You crawl inside the mouth of the creature and force yourself to expand. The beast's mouth is now large enough for you to stand up in as you crawl forward into the back of its throat. You tear apart the beast from the inside. You pull out clumps of the creature's insides to feed on. You are pleased that to find that it is invigorated by its meal. You tear apart the creature from the inside and it soon dies. You are fighting the monsters. You see your golden spoon and remember your humanity, causing you to revert back to your human form. You look like a normal human and you find your golden spoon on the ground next to you. The beast has fallen from the skies and you're standing in what remains of its mouth and throat. Take your spoon and begin to eat the remains. You ate the human. You eat the remains and are surprised to find that you enjoy it. You feel newfound strength and energy in your body. You return to make your home inside the giant conch shell. Oops, what am I doing? Beside the crab juice oasis. I'm gonna wrap this up. You make your home deep within the giant conch shell. It is a cozy home. You're happy here. Make sure your fingers are not spoons. You look down at your fingers and find that they are no longer spoons. You are still a human being. Okay. The moral of the story is nobody can make you do anything you don't want to, as long as you keep to your principles. That's a good moral. Okay. Let's see. After you make... How do I phrase this? After you move into the conch shell, After you move into the conch shell, you find the soft glow of crab juice turns a deep blue. You are never hungry or tired. You are free. Sounds like a happy ending to me. The ManyLegged. After you move into the conch shell, the ManyLegged crab leaves you alone. It turns out the ManyLegged crab was actually a fearsome beast, not a misunderstood animal as you had thought. Good thing I didn't make friends with it. Esme's mom. Esme's mom has got it going on. Comes back from the store one day and finds that her daughter is missing. She reports it missing to the police, who search high and low for her, but they can't find any evidence of what happened to her. Yeah, I mean, that's one hell of a cold case. After you move into the conch shell. The silver, faceless, armless man. Stops visiting. Your life within the deep conch shell is a pleasant one. You wonder if you made the right decision after all. After you move into the conch shell, the people trapped in the glass boxes. Disappear. You can no longer see their lights, even in the dark. Okay. Koju. What happened to you? Kojuhan stops coming. Makes you sad that your final conversations with him were the ones where you fought. You never apologize, but he never says anything more about it. Hey Kojuhan, I want you to know something. I don't want this ending to come true, so I'm very sorry. I'm sorry in advance, and I'm sorry for the past. I hope you return again, because it's been fun. Okay. After you move into the conch shell, Five Pickle Morning Star, Five Pickle Morning Star visits you. He tells you that he's been watching you and that you are doing well. He says he's proud of you. Thank you so much, Five Pickle Morning. Thank you so much. It did. The setting worked. I mean, it worked until we died instantly, and then we went back, and then it worked. Yeah, honestly, I think the problem was how we approached Esme. It's, I think I should steer away from that joke more often, because it kind of took control of the world. Okay. As you move into the conch shell, after you move into the conch shell, out of your reach, visits you. He doesn't say anything. He just hangs out and watches you enjoy your new home. You try to start conversations with him, but he never responds. Sounds very familiar. Goats on boats. Also visits you. She says she's so sorry she hasn't visited in a while and asks if there's anything you need. You tell her you are fine and thank you for all her help. Yes, thank you very much, Goats on Boats. Thanks a lot. I appreciate it. Okay. What is it? That Gamer Guy 2215, is that his name? That Gamer Guy 2215. Visits you. He apologizes for the way things went last time you saw each other and says he'll try to keep your recent success a secret from the community. And is there anyone else? Let's see what it says with me. The curly fry slips into your room one night. Okay. Let's just say that it does not sound like me. Do-over. Jesus. We don't even have this on not safe for work mode. What the hell? The two of you have a pleasant conversation. He tells you how much he's been enjoying being a moderator in your absence. Does this know I'm a streamer? Okay. And lastly, Contra. Contra is who we are going to raid after this stream. So let's see what this says about Contra. After you move into the conch shell, Contra visits you. He says he's sorry to see you go and thanks you for all your help in the past. I have not helped you, Contra. But hopefully this raid gets you at least one follow. It was a good raid, Contra. Hopefully you get at least one follow from it. Contra turns and leaves. The moral of the story is... don't turn your back on giants, lest they smash you with a boulder. Great advice. Guys, I want to thank you all for joining in. I hope you had some fun. I appreciate you guys. You helped me a ton with my follower status and my viewer count. I appreciate it. I'm going to raid a guy I know in real life named Contra. He is a very successful stream now. Plays a lot of retro games and is currently, I believe, getting his butt kicked by the remake of Ghouls and Ghosts, or Ghosts and Goblins, the remake. So he's a funny, nice guy. Let's go raid him. Thanks so much, everyone. I appreciate it. Contra, let's see. We're gonna start the raid. Thanks so much, everyone. Have a great evening.